Is that small talk?
We're back.
Small talk.
Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Small Talk. You already know, two queens, two perspectives, one topic. But tonight we have a wonderful, wonderful, special guest. Our family, Lewis, is in the building. Say hey, Lewis.
How you guys doing? Thank you for having me on.
Hey, the Chromo's Love. We're so happy to have you. Some of y'all might
I'm
know
glad to
him
be
from the
here.
Monday Night Crew, and he kicks it with us every other Monday. And we're just so happy to have him here with us, and we're putting him in the hot seat. Britt, what are we getting into tonight?
So tonight, if I can sum up this episode, it would be Lewis's infamous tagline, close the tab. Tonight we are closing the tab, okay? We're putting Lewis in the hot seat. We got about 4 or 5 questions we're gonna ask him, just to get the male perspective and see how he feels. And then of course, we'll interact and kind of get the female perspective on the backhand. But we're so happy to have him here. He's a special guest, y'all. So if you hear us keep saying that, we're just really happy to have him here. Before we get started, Lewis, we like to do a thing called this or that. So we're just gonna give you 2 options. You let us know this or that. You'll get our opinion on it, and then we'll swing it from there. So
I'm
I'll
I'm
kick it
ready.
off.
Let's do it. I ain't
All
afraid of
right,
y'all. Let's go.
all right. I'll kick it off. I had a simple one, but I'm like, it's Lewis. We don't need simple.
That's
So
right.
mine is: do you prefer a nice personality and a sloppy body, or a rude, stuck-up, obnoxious personality and a banging body on a woman?
I'm gonna have to take the latter.
Really? You will put up
Yeah,
with some bad attitude?
yeah. I can't deal with a sack of mashed potatoes. I can't deal with that.
And your party don't matter if I can't look at you.
I can't look at man. Tell listen. We can have a lot of good conversation. We can talk on the phone.
Uh-huh. But
I can't.
Yeah,
That's
that's
it.
it. That's it.
Lewis.
I can't do it,
Okay.
man. I'm not gonna lie to myself.
Okay. So physical matters more than personality for you.
When you say it like that,
That's what you said,
it
Lewis.
makes me seem
That's
shallow. But I'm gonna be real with myself. Yes.
Okay. That's fair game.
I respect
Asian?
that. You know what's so funny? Because as much, no, I love a good personality, but a sloppy body is crazy to me. On a man, I can't do it. But rude and
Yeah, sloppy
obnoxious
is just
also,
ugh.
I can't do it. Okay, wait, hold on, because this is low key impossible. Because I'm not dealing with a dude that's just like sloppy body. I would have to say sloppy body. I would have to.
Really? Nah.
Because
I'm
to be with somebody that is obnoxious, hold on, because you're saying to be rude
rude.
and
What I
obnoxious,
say? Rude, obnoxious. Yep. And stuck
I'm
up.
going, you know my personality. I'm gonna go toe to toe with him every time. I'm gonna be a nigga to a nigga. If he's being rude to me, no, I can't. No, I would rather him be nice and like all that if I had to pick. Because I would be in my masculine energy. I know that. If he's being rude to me, you're not gonna talk to me like that. No.
Yeah, I get. So like I'm a firm believer in just going to the gym. Like I'd rather like try and convince you to go to the gym, right? Like I can't do rude. I can't do obnoxious. I will leave the room if you are obnoxious. I just can't take on those types of personalities. They're overbearing to me and they're just disgusting. So for me, especially on a male. And Lewis, I'm shocked too, because to have an obnoxious woman is a little, but I feel like it's more, you can deal with that a little bit more, especially if she has a banging body. It's like, oh, well, it's all worth
It's my
it.
baby. I think you made a great point. As a man, because I don't want to, in both scenarios, I think we would all think we could change the other person to some degree, right? Or have some type of influence over them. But I think as a man, I feel like I could kind of match their energy. And I feel like my energy maybe would trump that negative
Mhm.
vibe, that obnoxiousness, that rudeness. And I feel like I could maybe corral them in certain situations to where it wouldn't escalate, and be as much of an embarrassment. That's probably why it's a little different for me, because it would be hard to, even though Asia, I know you got I know you stern, and Brittany, I know you don't play either. You know what I mean? But if a man is out there, it's really hard to reel him in. I feel like even a woman that is, I feel like I can still connect to her in some way.
Yeah.
I do. I feel like I can get
Dang.
feel like I can get to her.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't offer to go to the gym? Like, what if she already came with like the nicest personality, the nicest person you ever met. She's ambitious, she cooks, she clean, she checked all these boxes, but her body is just like
If
just
she
all
had
over the place.
a big booty, I'll make her do something, but that's about it. She don't have no. If she had one of them bodies, that's she fat and then she don't have no butt, and that means that she wouldn't have no butt when she was small. I couldn't do that. I just can't do that. I can't do it.
No,
Honesty.
that's so real.
That's the
Dang,
realness.
no, that's a good one, Lewis. But and I think to your earlier point too, just around like because even like what I said, right? Like if the man is rude, I would match his energy, right? And so like, but if he's nice, I would want to be like soft, and I would want to like, I don't think I would want to be as rah with him. I would probably do that if it's like I don't know, against somebody else maybe, but I think that's a good point, Lewis. I think as women, sometimes we choose try to match our man's energy.
Mhm.
Dang, that was
Okay.
good. Lewis. All
You
right.
know,
Dang,
What you
okay.
got, Ace?
So next, this or that. You think you're being framed for a crime. Do you take matters into your own hands, or do you let the detectives and the lawyers handle it?
oh man, I'm such a control freak, man. Uh, I would have to have some really. It'd have to be like Johnny Cochran in them for me to let them, do their thing, because I feel like, mm, God has blessed me with this level of intellect, and I feel like I can figure it out. You know what I mean? Like feel like I could, figure it out, and that sometimes gets me in trouble, but it saved me. So ah, I wouldn't want to give that control to another person. I would try to do it on my own.
Okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
like what what happens if you can't dig yourself out of that hole? Then what?
I can live with the results because it was my choice to commit the crime, and I wasn't smart, and I deserve what I got because I wasn't good enough to get myself out of it.
Ooh, that's good. That's
Okay.
good. Okay. Fair.
Britt, what you doing?
Oh, I'm I'm not smart enough to get myself
You
out of the
lawyering
crime.
up?
I am not, y'all. Let me tell y'all, I can one thing about me is I'll tell myself, I can never get away with like doing anything terrible. I can't steal nothing. I can't cheat. I'll come in the house bawling like,
Oh
I
God.
just did it. That's me. Like I can't. So I gotta get a lawyer to get me up out of there because I can't do it. I can't do it. Asia.
I am low key delusional. And I really believe that I have seen enough crime shows, enough First
Oh man.
48, that I really do believe in my heart. I really do believe I can get myself out. Like
Let's go.
figure out if somebody's trying to frame me. I really think I could. Am I being delusional? Probably. But would I try? Yeah. Like you
Believe in
cannot tell
yourself.
me. Yeah, like in my head, like I'm that girl. I'm
I
that girl.
You have so much conviction and your confidence in yourself. I believe you.
Thank you.
Mm,
Louis, that's all I needed. Look, that's all I needed.
I believe.
Don't
No,
hype me
seriously,
up
if that would have
though.
happened, I'd be like, "Hey, you got look. Don't waste your money, girl. Spend it on them. whatever you need to do to get up out of this.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
I'm telling you, and I really feel like, cause think about it like this, Britt. Think about it like this, okay? You ever had a homegirl like you were trying to find like a dude or somebody on the internet, or you see somebody and you know the exact friend you could go to, and you just have
Mm-hmm.
to give like the most basic description, and they could pull up like where they live, their voter registration, all that kind of stuff. Like I feel like, am I that girl? I'm not. But I do have several friends that could do that. I feel like I could just make a couple calls to my trusted friends and we could figure this thing out. We could do it.
Don't call me. Don't call me.
I
I'm not the
wouldn't.
friend.
I Yeah, I'm
I
learning
am
that.
I will help you get out of jail, but I'm not the friend to help you. I can't do it,
I
sis.
appreciate that honesty, Britt. Like that means a lot to me because I would have called you because I'm like, that's my sis. Like, let me call Britt.
Don't,
I
don't call
won't
me.
call
Call
you.
Lewis.
I'm
You
learning
can
that
call
though.
Lewis.
I will call Lewis. Yeah, I'll
I
call
don't.
Lewis.
I ain't been the jack on camera. I don't know.
Look, Lewis already started. See, this how Lewis, we'll
That's how
talk
you
after
know.
the show. We talk after the
You don't know where life take you. You know, I'm.
Oh boy. All right, let's jump right into it. So, Lewis, we about to put you in the hot seat. Let me pull up these questions real quick. Um, Feel free to answer however your heart desires, deem necessary. We ain't got nothing too crazy, but we
Okay.
just have a couple questions for you to get the male perspective. I'll kick it off with the first one, and it says, "What's the first thing you do if you woke up one day and you were the opposite sex?"
Well, y'all in these questions. If I woke up, I would look for my wife.
What do you mean?
My
It's
wife, like, I'm like, baby, what's up? Where you at?
oh,
How do I do this?
you'll ask her for the rule book?
Yeah. I'm like, hey, what's this? What's this? You know, is this normal? I would. That's
Oh,
honestly, that's my
boy.
honest answer.
Okay. And if she's explaining to you what works where, what do you feel like you will get done? Or what would you like to do or experience as if you were the opposite sex? You had the opportunity.
Man,
Or change. What would you like to change if you'd like to change something?
that's like asking a white person to be black. They don't want to do that shit.
So you're saying you don't want to be a woman, huh?
I don't. Y'all got it.
Shout out to you,
Yeah, we
Lewis.
got
Thank
too
you.
much going on.
It's too
Yeah,
much, man. I can't handle it.
yeah. Fact. I can understand that. Asia, what about you? You woke up as a dude. What you doing? What's the first thing you're doing?
Mm,
Okay, is this after dark or what? I definitely would have sex.
mm.
Hmm?
I would,
Mhm.
because I would. Yeah, just to
Okay.
experience what that feeling is like for them.
I
Okay.
recommend it.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
Let me
Highly
try
recommend.
again.
Because I feel like that is one experience. Because all the other things I'm thinking like I can do that as a woman, I can do that as a woman, you know what I'm saying? Or like I feel like I enjoy it as a woman, right? Um, but that's the one experience that I can never even comprehend what that even feels like for the other side. So that's the one thing for
Mhm.
me. I would just want that kind of like that understanding, I guess. Um, yeah, just yeah.
Okay.
What you doing,
That's
Britt?
good.
What's the first
I,
thing you
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about the first thing I'm doing. Mine is kind of similar to yours, Asia. I feel like I'd check my gray sweatpants to see what I'm working with, right? And then from there, I'd go out and explore the world. Not saying that I'd be sexually active, but I feel like I'd want to understand really and truly what like goes through a dude's mind when he sees like that woman walk by, or on the opposite of like he sees a woman that's not attractive, that he's not digging, right? Like, how do you respond? What are you thinking? Like, are you gonna approach her? What are you gonna do? So I'd like to like be inside a man's head for a minute, just around a bunch of women to see like how he would pursue them. I feel like I would take that back with me as a woman. Like, yeah, I seen that nigga before, right? Like, I know what he's up to. So
It's funny that y'all asked this question, and I think it's interesting. I feel like women are way more curious about what men, how men act and think. I think men don't give a thought to what women think. I've never thought about that at all.
what do you mean? Like when you're
Like
approaching them?
like you asking the question about being opposite sex and what that would be like.
Oh,
I think men more often than not don't even allow
Mm.
that thought to cross their minds. Like you said, hey, I wonder what a man would think in this environment. I don't think men like, oh, I wonder what that woman, that lady thinks over there. We don't. I don't think
well,
men spend time like that. You know, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I don't think we ever
uh-huh.
put ourselves in that position.
That's
Wow.
true. I think maybe do you think it's because like men, honestly, I've heard a lot of men say like they exactly what you said. They don't want to be women because they low key have it easy, right? Like in
Absolutely.
a sense of just everyday things. Like even when it comes down to, let's be real, like when we go places, women got to think about, okay, are we dressing up? Do we wear sneakers? Do we wear heels? Is it a dress? Is it jeans? Versus a man can really just put on a t-shirt and some jeans, but depending on his shoes, he can dress it up or down. So it's more simplistic for y'all. I think women have to put a lot more effort into almost everything that they do. So maybe that's why men don't really really give it any thought because it's like, yo, we good over here.
Yeah.
We just
Yeah.
like the
And maybe I know
sensual.
how men think too. Maybe that's why I don't want to be a woman because I think like the event, like women getting in free at the club. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll just go to the club and get in and don't have to pay for nothing. But then at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to deal with a bunch of niggas either. That's the last thing I want to deal with. So I'm like, nah,
Yeah,
it ain't worth it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
See, that's
That's a good
true.
point.
Use my language saying the N-word. I'm sorry. Deal
No,
with a
no,
bunch of
you good.
guys. But
I
yeah, I
already
don't.
You
said
good.
it on here. You good.
Oh,
But
my bad. Yeah, but I don't want to deal with that either.
Yeah,
wow,
yeah.
see, and I'm over here thinking of all the different things that I would want to do as a man now, because I'm like, I would want to be a man experiencing like falling in love. Like, what is that really like for a man? You know, like what is it? Even like I feel like even in business, like I feel like men have like this home field advantage, right? So in my mind, I'm like, what would it be
Hmm.
like to just walk into a spot and just start being like, hey, I've done X, Y, Z. I want that promotion. Or like, yeah,
You
let
know
me take
what?
the lead on this team.
I
Hmm.
don't want to take over. Could I speak to that real quick?
Go
Yeah, of
ahead.
It's
course.
cons to that. It's cons to that because you know how women are competitive in certain aspects
Hmm.
of life and maybe socially. I don't
Hmm.
feel men are competitive socially, but in business, that's where really in sports, that's where the competition in men really exists in that in that space, and that takes a toll on you because you ever been in like a situation where a girl was competing with you, like, girl, I ain't thinking about you, I'm just living my life. As a
Yeah.
man, especially if you're articulate and you are confident and you are what they would consider to be alphas, people are competing with you and you don't even know it.
Mm.
You know what I
Mm.
mean? So you think it's easier, but it comes with additional stress, especially if you are an intelligent and confident, man. It's another side to it. It's not just easy like I walk in and do it. It's a cost to it, an
Okay.
emotional toll. Mm-hmm.
And I
Just
and
throwing that out there.
to your, I mean, I 100% agree, and I'm happy that you said that. I do think though, I guess for me in that business realm, speaking to what you just said, it would be more so what like how do I say this without not sounding offensive? Like is it easier for a man to get the promotion, to walk into a corporation and be like, this is it, right? Versus because you are women, it's a huge deal. Like it's really hard for
Yep.
us to be in leadership roles, especially Black women on top of that. We have two like strikes against us. So I just feel like as a man, it's easier to kind of maneuver those things and kind
It
of
is
make it work your way to the top, you know? So
100%.
I'd like to kind of experience what that's like what, or even give a dude an opportunity to sit in a woman's shoes, right? And experience like what it's like for us and what we feel like our challenges are to even get an opportunity, to even get looked at,
Do
like
you
to be
think that's
considered.
still as prevalent as it once was? I listen, all my bosses have been, and we had talked about
Mhm.
this before on the other show, but like
Yeah.
it's been women who have
Mhm.
really given me the opportunities that I've had to succeed and promote and put me in positions to do great things. I don't see that in my industry as much.
I think it depends.
I think it
It
depends.
depends. It depends on what world you kind of work in. I feel
Hmm.
like I don't see it as much, and I'm happy to see a lot of women take on these roles. I do see a lot. You're right. And now that I'm thinking about it, I do see a lot of women CEOs now taking over some of these businesses, a lot more than I did before. However, I do feel there is a certain something they had to do to get there.
Yep.
It's almost like a sacrifice. They had to sacrifice something to get there. A lot harder, but I see it. I
That's
see
a
it
great
happening.
point. I'll never tell anybody what their experience is. I am agreeing with you because I would not want to see otherwise what it would be like. Because I don't think if I was a woman, I don't think I'd be where am right now. And if I was
Mm.
white, I don't think I'd be where I am right now.
Really?
Oh, I'd be further ahead. What you talk? I'd be
Oh, I thought
hell yeah,
that was the
nah.
other
I'd
way
be
around.
yeah,
You
I'd
got
be.
excited.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Y'all would have been flued out to my house for this.
Alright. But you know what's interesting even about that though? I actually feel that being in my field, I'm so grateful that I am a Black woman being a therapist
Yeah.
because there are so many, I feel like now Black people, and I'm gonna say now, currently, because now everybody wants to get therapy. Now it's not as much of a stigma in the Black community. You know what I mean? Like, because I feel like a lot of us are now like professional and like, oh, well, yeah, maybe I should actually do that, right? And so for me, I find a lot of times people they request a Black therapist. Um, and because women have been through so much trauma by men, unfortunately, they feel more comfortable speaking to a woman.
Mhm.
And even, like I have male clients and stuff too. And even for them, it's like getting, being able to kind of like hear from the female
Yeah.
perspective, you know what I mean? It's also beneficial. So for me, I feel like in my field as a therapist, I'm actually grateful that I'm a Black woman because I don't know where I would be if I was a white man now, currently being a therapist.
Nurturing. You forgot about the nurturing aspect of it.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Mhm. Absolutely. That's like number one, Lewis. That's really
Hmm.
like one.
Hmm.
All
Ooh, I'm
right.
loving this. All right. Question number two. Lewis, we got a
Mhm.
question. All right. So, women, I feel like we do a whole lot, right? We do a whole lot trying to make sure that our man still is attracted to us. We get our hair done, our nails done, all these things, right? Even trying to cook their favorite meal or whatever. What do men do to make sure that their lady is still attracted to them? What do y'all do?
Besides a haircut.
Lewis is fixing his lips for that one.
I
Just to
was about
say
to.
haircut.
I was just about to say that. I said we go to Turkey and get hair implants. Oh, you know what's funny? I feel like y'all tell us what y'all need from us to 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 be okay.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Okay.
That's what I feel like legitimately. Like my wife, she'll say some little sneaky shit. Oh, I like the beard. I like it when you do it like
Uh-huh. Yeah.
that. Oh, okay. Don't cut it off. You know what I mean? Seriously.
Yeah.
You
That's
know what I
true.
mean? She's like, Lewis, you go to the gym. I like it when you go to the gym.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I feel
And
like y'all tell us what y'all want from us.
okay. And so that's a good, you're a good listening man. I'll say that because there's some men out there that don't give a damn, right? Like they just they don't care about that. Um, and so that's a good point to answering the question Asia asked is like your upkeep is important to what your spouse or your partner feels at the time. I have to say the same thing about mine. Like I'll tell him, baby, the beard, you got to keep it. Because if you don't, I don't know. I don't know,
See what I'm
right? Like,
saying? Yeah.
and he's on it. Like that's the number one thing. So I can see that. I
Society
don't.
sets the parameters for y'all, I feel like, more than they do for us. So that's why I feel like you guys have to be specific to us because I can't generalize it, but we are generalizing it. So we have the stuff we do is for y'all. We don't really do it for us. I wouldn't go to the doctor if my wife didn't make me go. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being real. You know what I mean? I'll probably go to get my hair cut because that's a confidence thing for me, and that's something I enjoy doing. But you know, the idea of getting my nails done, that comes from my wife. Like, making those suggestions and setting that up. Hey, you should, skincare regimen. You ever looked at that before? We don't think about stuff like that. We never think about that. First time I ever used what's those things called to get the blackheads off of you? The
The what?
strips. When you get
Oh,
the
Oh yeah, like
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
nurse just
yeah.
yeah, women have to tell us to use it. I was like, what's this? So I feel like the society sets the mark for y'all, and you all set the mark for us. As far as the specifics.
I
Okay.
like that actually. Hmm.
It's true.
It
It's
is.
true. If you think about it, which kind of sucks, right? Because like if we set the bar for y'all, I didn't turn like for my bar to be set for me. Let me talk about back then because
Uh-oh.
currently I'm okay. I'm good. But back then, I would have liked to not try and fit the mold of what society has like sculpted for us to necessarily be. And then we always have to keep up with the Joneses. So like the BBLs, y'all, have skyrocketed, right? But then there was a time when like that Aaliyah, I
Mhm.
don't know, I can't even think of that TLC phase
Ill,
where they
yeah.
were slim, but they were beautiful and they're still beautiful. The ones that are still here with us, women. That was a fad. That was the thing to be slim thick, right? Now it's like big butt thighs a match. Like it's just
Mm-hmm.
everywhere. And I
Yeah.
don't know. So I would like for the man to set the bar instead of society.
Yeah. Let me just say to that real quick. First of all, the thighs never match these days, and
On the
that's irritating.
BBLs.
Yes, because Bridget button thighs that match, they never do, and that's irritating. Um, but also, I think it's interesting, Louis, what you're saying, right? Just around like society setting the standards, stuff like that, because I think it is difficult then, because I was in a situation previously where I thought that I had to do all these things that society said that I did. And then when my partner was like, you don't need to do that, I was so confused and I did not know what to do. And I was like, so
Wow.
you
Right.
don't want me to wear this? No. Okay, so you don't need for me to do this. And we got into almost like arguments about it because I was so adamant that if I was not doing these things, Lewis, to your point, that society was setting, that I didn't even realize society set for me. I thought that he was not satisfied. And
Mm.
I thought that I was not enough, even though he kept trying to tell me, no, you are enough. I just need you to show up as you. And it was almost like I had to go through this deprogramming because I couldn't even listen to when my partner was telling me what worked for him because I was just under the impression that it was not enough. And there was no way possible that he was okay with me just showing up as I am without doing anything extra.
Yeah.
And so that was like you saying that, Lewis, it really just made me think like, oh yeah, society definitely programmed me. And then when you
Yeah.
do have those times where men are like, I need this or I don't need this. And it usually comes from the I don't need or you don't have to do this. That's where
Right.
it's hardest to accept because society tells us as women that we have to do so many things, right? Or look a certain way or whatever. So yeah, so thank you for saying that. That just put a lot of things in perspective for me.
Asia, do you feel like, I mean, you being on the dating scene now, do you feel like men kind of still, or are you confronted with like a standard almost that you have to uphold according to like what's going on in society now? For instance, like a lot of dudes are like, yeah, I'm not paying for your bill because women just want their bills paid for, or I want you, Louis.
Uncle Lewis.
Or close the tab, y'all. Or do you want like they want a certain look with all these BBLs walking around? Like, do you feel like you experience more of that now versus a couple years back?
What's interesting is this. I think that because I have locks, this might be very interesting perspective, but because I have locks, men approach me differently. I think that they feel that because I have locks, like I'm more of like a natural girl. So they don't expect for me to then, like have all the things. And because I guess because of how I already present, right? Like I have locks, I have a lot of tattoos. And so for them, it's like it's one of those, and I do go to the gym, right? So it's like it's one of those like, oh, you're like one of those like natural girls. Like, okay, so you're not gonna have a whole bunch of makeup on. So they don't expect for me to have, like the long blinky nails or like the lashes, the lash extensions. Like for them, I really think, and I've heard it a lot because my hair is, I have locks. I get a different I get approached differently than when I didn't have locks. And that's something I have definitely noticed. Um, but even with that, because then sometimes there's this pressure when I wasn't too sure of myself, and especially when I kind of like first got lost, there was this pressure that I had to be like this super hippy dippy Mother Earth Rastafari type of like person. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That uses baking soda as deodorant type, and it's just like that's like no, I'm using Dove like the rest of us, like
Wait, is it aluminum free? Are you using aluminum free deodorant?
yeah, nah, mine is always aluminum free. I will say
Okay,
that.
so you
I
see,
will
you ain't all the way there. You kind of
Right. Yeah.
she halfway.
yeah, so for me, I don't know. I've realized that with my lock journey, it also has brought me a different men approach me just differently. So yeah. Hmm.
Interesting.
I could see that. I could see that for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, oh yeah. And men, listen, men don't care about, well, I can't generalize it. A lot of men I know don't care about whether a woman get her nails done. We don't care. I don't.
So
I've done it. I pay for my wife to get them done. My daughter, she likes it. But it's for their confidence. I could care less. It looked the
so what?
same when you're holding stuff. I'll just leave it at
Oh my
that. As
God.
long as you're grabbing it, I
But
don't care.
yeah, okay. That's fair. So
Oh.
what would you say then for those speaking on those type of men, um, is like a normal upkeep for a woman?
I would say body, of course. We talked about sloppiness earlier. That's just term. When you use that term, that adjective, it just really I just seen the body, the big wide back, the beef. But anyway, I uh I would say the body for sure, the body composition. Hair is really big for me. Hair is really big for me. I have to say that. Hair is big for me. Um, and skin.
Are you a natural hair or as long as it's done?
All right, y'all ready to laugh? So my wife, when we first met, she wore a variety of hair, styles. And it was like, yo, as soon as we got married, like the first year we got married, she went natural. So she had to cut her hair, pretty short. And I hate short hair. I just
Oh,
hate it because my mom had short hair growing up and she had beautiful hair. And I'm like, Mom, why you keep cutting your hair? And I just, it just stuck with me. And man, we were in church. She walked in church with that little mini fro and I was hot. We had a lot of arguments about that, man. And we were both young and immature at the time. I was immature at the time. But it was like, I'm like, yo, you just did that because we got married. Like, I wouldn't have talked to you if you looked like that. You know that.
Louis.
I'm honest, man. I'm just being honest.
Louis said,
I
"Get
don't know
that
why she did.
bald head out of here.
Yeah, I
No
was
TF
mad.
ways."
I still kind of ain't forgave her about it. But
Not Louis. Louis. Yes, Louis. No way.
I have evolved. If it whatever makes her happy and feel confident in herself, I love her enough to bypass all that. And she can buy wigs. So
Mhm.
we talked about that. But hair, skin, body composition and hygiene.
Hygiene. You
Hmm.
So
always
Louis,
always
I would
bring
say
us back.
Louis is going. If there's one thing Louis is going to talk about when it comes to a woman, it's her hygiene.
Because
But
I
you
put
know
women on a
what? That's a good
pedestal of
point.
hygiene, man.
Yeah.
I put
Yeah.
women on the pedestal of hygiene. I really
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's big. You'd be surprised how many women don't like that's on the bottom of their list. Like, yeah, they may brush their teeth, they may put on deodorant every day, but like just the upkeep. I feel like a woman naturally is supposed to smell good. Like I mean, Louis, I don't know about you at home or Asia, even encounters that you've had, when you're dating and you're person. But when there's something about when I take a shower, you put your lotion on, like Mike be right here. I'm like, yo, back up, nigga. Like he's like, no, but it's something about like a fresh scent, like that smell of a woman. And and of course, when you have kids, you got to instill it in your daughters too. Like that's priority. You can't be walking around here funky. No dude's they're gonna look at you like you're crazy. So definitely, I 100% agree. And men,
Yeah.
Lewis, not just
Yep.
women. Some men like, yo, they don't keep up their hygiene as much as they should. And I'll leave it there. I'll leave it right there. That's disgusting. Anyway, I got the next question. Let me move. Let's see. I lost it, y'all. Oh, I lost the questions. Okay, here we go. Um, okay. Lewis, if a dude initiates physical intimacy on the first date, do you think that he's just after one thing?
No.
Okay. Tell me,
Tell us
tell me
more.
more.
That's what he wants. That's just what he just wants it.
So do you feel like there's potential for a woman to have a second date after that? Or will it always be an expectation to then have a level of intimacy during their dates because the first one was just
Yeah, once you let me in, I got a key. I got the key, so I'm coming back.
so what if she tells you like, nah, like I just gave it on the first date because I was drunk or I was feeling the conversation or
I'm
you're
not
not coming.
emotionally mature. I'm not emotionally mature to handle that. So, like, we're gonna do it next time, though, right? Like, what's up? I gotta have some type of expectation. Let's set these expectations on what the frequency of these occurrences are going to be. I'm the type of dude, man. I gotta have my stuff in order on that end. I gotta know where I can go get it.
Okay.
I got to know where I can go get it. I'm serious. I have to know who is doing that because I mean, again, my experience, I didn't explore and do that with a lot of people. So if you are the one, then that's what we doing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's what I'm gonna expect. I'm not saying like, oh, I don't feel good today. I'm not gonna be, ignorant or rude of your time. But I'm like, hey, we are. That's a part of our dynamic now. I am expecting that moving forward. And
Okay.
I'll say that. I'll be respectful, but trying it on the first date, I mean, I think it would be got to read the room, right? If I invite you to I don't know, invite you to a certain place and it's not the setting for that, then it's wrong. But if we're in for a nightcap or something and we start kissing and rubbing and touching, I'll make the move and we go there. It is what it is. We're adults. I wanted it, at the time. I find you attractive. That's what I want to do. You know what I mean? I want to do that. So I'm not gonna pretend like I don't.
So I'm gonna ask you this because a lot of women, and maybe not now, maybe not now. I feel like women have kind of flipped the script a little bit, but there was a time where women did not give it up on the first date in fear of not being or being ghosted, right? Like that's all he
Mm,
wants, so I have to withhold for X amount of time. Doesn't matter if I wanted to. I really like this dude, but I
mhm.
feel like I'm gonna be ghosted. Do you feel like men think like that? Like, it's like, I guess my question is, do men pass judgment if a woman gives it up on the first date?
Yeah.
Oof. Oh
Yep.
no, y'all
You
hurting.
should withhold if you want him to value it. I heard people say that maybe it's a cliche by now, but it is true. You don't want something that you can get too easy.
Oof. Even
So
if both of
you
y'all are
better put up, and
adults.
if you want me to, you better put up a fight. You better act like you ain't used to doing this. You better pretend like you better lie to me and tell me I'm the only one that you've done it with before.
Are you even believing that though?
Maybe you better you got to make it not seem easy. You know what I mean? I think women
Mm.
know ways that they can do that. You know, like say no, and then I'm at the door, and then before I go, you pull me in, and then we do it. I was like, damn, I thought we were gonna do that. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? That's
Mhm.
kind of like, it's a mind game. So I think I think there's a way to go about it. But if I walk in the door and you already on the bed, you know, on all fours, I'm like, I'm gonna do it, but this is you a hoe.
First of all,
I'm gonna do it now. But man, you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't be doing stuff like this.
starting position on all fours is crazy.
That's
Second
what
of
I'm
all,
saying.
it's Louis saying, I'm gonna enjoy this now, but you should know better. You
You
gotta
should
do
not
better
be
than
doing this,
this.
girl.
Okay. Oh, God. Okay. Yeah, and again, that's why it's hard for women because y'all could really be into each other. Y'all could be digging each other and wanting to take it there, but that whole like, oh, what is if he thinks, if I do this with everybody, or is he gonna call me after this? Again, I think a lot of women have let go of that stigma, and if they want it, they want it type thing. But some women still hold on to that because they value themselves.
Yeah, but when I hear women say, "Oh, you ain't gonna like me afterwards," that's a turnoff for me. That's a
Mm,
turnoff for me. You insecure. You damn you. We both know I want it. We both know you want it, right? So if you just come to me like, listen, I know it's our first date. I hadn't had sex in X amount of time. You know what I mean?
okay.
I'm just, I like you. I hope this doesn't change, but I would like for us to do this tonight.
Mhm.
Oh shit, she know what she want. She's straight up about what she want. She don't seem like a hoe. You know what I mean? Like, so again, there's a way to do it. But if you be like, oh, and I'm taking them off, and you like, I normally don't do this. I'm like, lying ass. I'm taking them off. Lying ass.
So basically,
Lying.
a woman has to be confident, but not too confident because she's too confident, then she seems a little too easy. So the key
She
is you got to
she be
find that.
confident, but not too available.
Okay,
Don't give yourself
that's
to me
good.
so freely. Don't give
Mm,
yourself to me freely. You can want the act, but don't give yourself to me freely. That
mhm.
freely. Does that make
That's
sense?
a
There's a
gem.
Yeah,
difference.
there
Yeah,
is
no,
a difference.
that's good. Louis.
That's a
That's
gem.
a gem. Yep, that's a gem right there. See, this is what we had you on here.
Of
All
course.
right, you ready? Last question.
All right.
Just for you, Louis. Just for you.
Yes, for you.
All right.
So you surprised your girl with a birthday dinner for her and her friends. Are you covering the tab for everybody?
Did I invite the friends?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would.
Whoa! Did not expect you to say that.
I would.
Neither did I.
Because I want my
Seriously?
I want my her birthday, right?
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
I invited them. I want her to have a good time. And you know what that does? Because it ain't about them.
Mhm.
It's about my wife. And it's about her saying, my husband did all this for me. Hey, he made sure me and my people had a good time. So that's different than randomly being in a bar one night talking to this girl that I'm paying for everybody. That's crazy. But you know how good
Wow.
it makes me feel as a man for like, oh, my husband did this. Oh, my husband got a girl. I know what that does for her.
Yeah.
Mm.
I know what that does for her. So absolutely.
Are you telling the friends?
Hell no. Now you gotta be smart.
Yeah. Yep. Because they will run the
Hmm.
tab up all the way
Yep.
up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get that surf and
Mhm.
turf real quick.
There you
Yeah.
go. But
Yeah.
yeah, that in that instance, yes, I would.
Okay. And so what if you didn't invite the friends, right? But birthday dinner, you knew it was being whatever, being done, you were out. Because I've seen this. Actually, I saw a video where the dude didn't cover the tab and the friends got on him like, what kind of man are you? Do you feel like if you didn't invite the friends, but you knew a birthday dinner was taking place and you were there and all the friends are now looking at you like you got it, would you pay it or would you expect them to pay their own tabs?
I expect them to pay their own tabs because I didn't invite you. If I invited you and I said we celebrating this person, right? I feel like I should because you may not be in a position to do that, but I'd much rather you show up and support her, right?
Mm.
Now, if you go into a restaurant and you haven't told anyone that you're coming, you should already have how you're going to enjoy your experience figured out. That's not my responsibility.
Mm. Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
I don't know how to I don't so real story, true story,
Okay.
college. In college, I had a friend. I'm not gonna spray her, but I had a friend who had a boyfriend of the different race, who was very wealthy, a wealthy man. Um, we damn near had the whole restaurant. Not even a lot. There was like 30, 40 people that showed up. And at some restaurants, if there's a lot of people, there's a certain menu you have to purchase from. You can't like, get your own stuff. So basically everybody had to pay like a $50, $60 meal, whatever the case may be. So many people at the end of that dinner turned to this man because we all knew he was swimming in cash. He's a white boy, right? With a lot of money. And said, "Oh, you got this, you got this, you got this." And for him, it was nothing. He pulled out his card and it was nothing to do that. And in talking to my friend, I was like, "Whoa, was he prepared to do that?" She's like, "Nah, he just did that because he didn't want anybody to talk bad about him because he knows that like the friends were gonna go back and be like, oh, this dude got all his money and he can't even afford, a birthday dinner for his girl and stuff like that." So do you think that I mean, Lewis, it's different boyfriend and girlfriend type thing because you can let her go next week and that'll be the end all. But do you think like it with that same scenario, if that played out with your wife, would you care if how you're viewed by her friends or people that are close to her that you're consistently around and what they thought of you?
No, I wouldn't care.
But I'm only asking you this because in the same breath you just said that you know what that would do for your wife,
Correct.
right? Acknowledging that, oh, my man got it.
It's about her.
Okay.
It ain't about them.
Okay. All right. I can
It ain't about
respect
her. And you said he was white. That's why I said if I was white, I'd be further ahead. Remember that? So maybe my perspective would change. You talking to a black man.
feel that. I feel
There you
that.
go.
That is
What about
hilarious.
you, Asia? You expect for your dude to pay for the tab?
No, I expect for my dude to pay for me. Like actually, to be honest, well, let's all the scenarios. So if he did invite all my friends, actually no, I still don't have the expectation that he would pay. I have the expectation that he would pay for me. But then again, I also know that my girls, like if he's there, then yes, he would pay for me. I know that. But let's say he's not there and like it's just me and my girls. I also know that my girls would just split me. You know what I'm saying? Like usually like the birthday person just doesn't pay. Um
Mhm.
so but yeah, I wouldn't have the expectation and I wouldn't put that on my man either. To be honest, I would probably be like, oh, you got to pay for all of it? Like I think it would be a shock. I would be happy that he did it, but I wouldn't then be upset if he did not. Um and I think also just know my girls, we all like to eat. And so that's just not fair to him in his pockets. And
You
I
do
already
not like to eat what? I've never seen you eat a lot.
I eat a lot, Louis. I like in real life, for real. I eat a lot. I mean, it fluctuates, depends, but like I really do eat a lot. And like I'm the type. This is such a side story, but I will take myself out to lunch, right? Like for instance, I drop. This is not a flex, and I don't know what this is, but like I will spend $100 on myself if I take myself to lunch or to dinner. Easy, easy. Because for me, yeah, I know it's bad, but like I
One
will.
sitting?
Yes, in one
What?
sitting. I will spend money on myself when it comes to food. Like I didn't spend $100 recently, but and it's because sometimes I like to try different places to eat, mind you. I am also indecisive. So I've been on this like vegan kick lately. So I've been trying all the vegan restaurants in my area, all of them. And so for me, I'm like, will I come back here? I don't know. But if it looks
Mm.
good, I'm gonna try it. So I'm getting an appetizer, maybe two. I'm getting a meal, an entree. Yeah, I want the side. And I'm not just getting the water. What is your specialty drink here? Give me a mocktail, if you will. I'm gonna get that.
Yes,
And
sir.
then I might get dessert. I just did that on Sunday. Legit.
Britt,
I went to,
that's that single life with no kids right there.
like for
I'm
real, I
listening to
guess.
her. I'm like, never.
And for me, that's me treating myself. Like I feel like people treat themselves in
Mm.
different ways. I
Yep.
find that one of the best experiences is the dining experience. Like I love going to new restaurants. I love trying the specials that they have. Like it's one of my favorite things to do. And because I don't have any outside responsibilities, I can do that because I don't spend money elsewhere. Like I don't really do a whole lot with that. So for me, I take myself out to eat and I get my nails done. And like those are my self-care things.
No judgment. Do you get dressed up? I'm sorry, Britt. Do you get dressed up when you go? Do you like
I have. It
to get the
depends
experience?
if I'm doing dinner or lunch, and that's so funny because it took me a while to do that. And even what even got me into doing that was because I used to be so afraid to do that stuff by myself, right? Because I'm like, oh my gosh, like that looks weird me being by myself. I was in a long distance relationship when I was in grad school, and or actually this was before grad school, when I was still living in New Jersey. And I remember we couldn't we couldn't do things together all the time. And one time we got into this argument and he was like, why don't you just go do this? Like just do it by yourself. And I slowly but surely I started doing like I would go to like a Panera where people I know are usually on their laptop and I would just kind of like be by myself. I'm like, okay, okay, I can do this. Okay, it's not so bad, but it took me a long time to even feel comfortable. And now that I am, for me, it's a healing thing too. Because for me, I feel
Mm.
like I'm now able, yes, I can get dressed up if I want to. I can go to a fine dining place. Like I went on a solo trip to Chicago. Um, and I was in a restaurant by myself, fine dining, and the owner came out to me. He was like, okay, we haven't put this out on the menu yet. Do you want to try this? It was like a 5 course meal that was not on the menu. That the owner and the head chef, they were just like, look, we've been trying this. We've been here. You can have this. Let's try it. And I had the most amazing experience. And so for me, eating solo, I guess, is like a low key healing experience because I went through so much like I can't do this by myself, the thing. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay, Molly, I see you.
Call it.
You talked about
Shout out to
me.
you. No, shout out to you. Seriously, that's dope that you're able to do. A lot of people can't. I am one of them. I can't do that. And you said solo trip alone, I cannot do. Like I just feel weird. Um,
Mhm.
but That's me and my own stuff. Right? Um, the original the original question, Asia. I'm just jumping backwards a little bit. I'm
Mhm.
with you on that 100% in terms of your dude paying. Um, I don't want mine to pay. I don't want him
Why,
to pay
why not?
because you dipping in what could have been spent on me for
Oh
my
shit. Oh, there we
birthday.
go. All right.
In all fairness, like you really don't have to pay for their stuff. And then if my girls bring their dude too, like I just feel like now your dude sitting at the table, he should kind of because you have sometimes you have other married friends that come along too, or they bring their spouses, and it's like y'all can take care of each other. If Mike is feeling generous by all means, but I'll still look at him sideways like we really could have used that for
Hmm.
something else. These are grown people sitting at this table. The best gift that they could have ever done was to come here and celebrate me, and I appreciate them being here. But that's also an expected responsibility that you're going to cover your tab, right? Like that's just me. I don't know, the selfish side of me.
I feel like y'all was trying to make me say something different. Like y'all was expecting me to, get emotional like I did the last time and start lashing out at Asia.
Yeah,
No,
that's what we expected.
We
That's
expected.
what we thought. That's what we
I've
thought.
matured since then. I can't tell you how many people I've talked to about that. You
It's
know,
been how many months, Louis?
it's been about 6 to 9 months, but it's been a long time. I took a
Shout
lot
out
of
to
heat
the
off
girls.
that. Yeah, but I'm
We're
I'm
proud of
good
you,
now.
Louis. We're proud of you for
Thank you.
that. That's growth. That's
Yes,
growth. I
it
respect it.
is.
And this has been another episode of Small Talk. You already know, two queens. But today we had a king join us, Lewis. We're so, so happy that you came to spend some time with us. And so there was three perspectives then, and we will see y'all on the next episode. Bye.